Hey everyone, so today I'm going to teach you how to create a tessellation um, from a rectangle in PowerPoint. This is very essential in a 10th grade geometry class and it is a part of one of our projects. So the first thing you're going to do is, I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to go ahead and click PowerPoint down here. So it gives me a bunch of options for templates. I don't want any of those fancy templates, so I'm going to go ahead and double click blank presentation. Now, when I do that, it comes up as a blank presentation, obviously. So what I first want to do is go ahead and delete these titles and subtitles. So I'm going to select it, and then on your keyboard, all you have to do is press delete. Again, I will select it and press delete. Now I have a blank canvas to work with to create my tessellation. So the next step is to go ahead and scroll over to insert. Here I'm going to insert a shape because we're using geometry. Specifically today we're going to be using a rectangle. So I look up here and I see shapes. I'm going to go ahead and click shapes. Now all of my recently used shapes are up here, but if you don't have the recently used shapes, you can use the rectangles tab. Again, we're working with a rectangle today. So you're going to select a rectangle. I'm going to make mine relatively larger just so that you can see exactly what I'm doing today. So go ahead and make your rectangle. Okay, so I have a pretty good sized rectangle. Now my preference, I don't really like the blue fill. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, this already right here has a white fill. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now I have a white fill in my rectangle, but again, this is me being picky. I don't like the green outline, so I'm going to go ahead and go up here. And it says there's a pencil and a darker black outline. And if you hover over it, it'll say shape outline. You're going to click that. And I am going to go ahead and click black. So now I have my perfect rectangle to work with. Now when we're creating a tessellation, we want to make a really, really cool design on the top and translate it, that's a geometric term, to the bottom. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and go to insert. I am going to go to shapes again. And again, I've recently used a bunch of these shapes, but this time if you go under the lines tab, you're going to see a really cool little tool. And if you hover over it, it'll say scribble. So we're going to go ahead and use that scribble tool. So go ahead and click scribble. Now you should have a little pencil that comes up. And start at the corner of your rectangle, the left-hand corner of your rectangle, and draw a design. Not too complicated, on the top of your rectangle, and make sure it ends straight on that corner, on the right corner. So now I made a not very complicated design on the top. Now where geometry comes in is where we're going to translate this creation from the top to the bottom. So in order to do that, I am going to go ahead and go to my keyboard. My scribble is already selected. I'm going to hit Command C on my keyboard. After I've done that, I'm going to hit Command V. If you don't want to do it that way, you can always select your scribble, go to Edit, Copy. Then you can also go back to Edit and click Paste. And there we go. So now we're going to translate this shape all the way to the bottom, making sure that my corners match up on the left and right again. So perfect, we've translated our shape from the top to the bottom. So now what we want to do is go ahead and tessellate our left and our right sides. So again, we're going to go to Insert. We want to go to Shapes again. Now we want to use the scribble tool one more time. We're going to use our pen, and we will go ahead and scribble on this side. Again, I'm not the most amazing artist in the world, but as long as you start at the top left corner and end on the bottom left corner, you're good to go. So again, for these purposes, I'll show you, you can go to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste, and we're going to go ahead and translate again to use a geometric term. Oh, see, there's the mistake that is often made. I'm glad I made it. So make sure that you have selected the right shape. And we want to select our scribble. So I'm going to move my scribble all the way over here. And I'm going to make sure my edges line up. This is a very intricate process. Okay, so now these got a little bit messed up when I moved my rectangles. I'm just going to move them down a little bit. All right, so now I want to make sure my rectangle is selected. So I'm going to click on any dark black line and my rectangle is selected. Now for these purposes, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and click the delete button once my rectangle is selected on my keyboard. Now I have my tessellated shape. So next what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go to View, Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and put it at about 50%. Okay. So now you see my screen is a little bit zoomed out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click anywhere in the top left of the screen and go ahead and select the entire image. Now my entire image is selected. All of my scribbles are selected. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Edit, back to Copy, back to Edit again, and back to Paste. So we're doing a lot of copying and pasting. So I went ahead and copied the image again. So we're going to create our tessellation by moving one of the images over. Now, as you can see, it fits perfectly within our original shape. That is how tessellations work. So again, I'm going to, this time, go to Edit and just click Paste. Okay, it pasted another object. I'm going to move this one down a little bit and make sure my edges match up perfectly. Again, Edit, Paste. And you can continue to do this for as long as you want. For these cases, I'm only going to do 4. I'm going to make sure my edges line up perfectly. And ta-da! We have a geometric tessellation. And tessellations basically mean making a shape that line up perfectly. We use this a lot in construction and tiling. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.